Hey guys, Team Yugi here, and I have a deck profile. This is my top 8 list from the Danbury Regional that I played the DDD deck from. This happened yesterday, the 19th of November. It was a very, very fun tournament. I brought the deck, playing it for fun, seeing I already had my invite, and I ended up getting 8th place, which is always really nice because I got this wonderful playmat for getting 8th place, which is always pretty cool. But I just wanted to showcase this deck to you guys so you guys could see what this deck is all about. Now, this deck list has already been posted to House of Champions. It should be posted to JRB Jobber's channel soon as well. I know that Aaron Furman recorded the deck after the regional for me, and he said it would probably be on the channel. So I just wanted to let you guys know that the deck will be on their channels as well. But let's go ahead and jump right into my top 8 list. I'm going to zoom in just so we can see this a little better. So I played 3 Ragnarok and 3 Thomas. So the concept behind this, which you'll see in the other videos, I'm just going to explain it here so you guys can see it, is that you have 6 level 8s in the main deck, and you're playing triple trade-in, which basically means that you should have enough targets to use your trade-ins properly. You obviously want to get your Thomas in the graveyard more than anything, and you want to get your Ragnarok in the scale more than anything. Then we have 3 Kepler. I only used his first effect to search for a Dark Contract card for my deck. That was the only time that I ever used his effect the whole day, and it was perfect. 2 Savant Nicola. This card just helps you go into to rank 6. Oops, sorry, I'm knocking my camera over here. He helps you go into rank 6, which is really, really important in this deck. And if you have to, you can make an Omega with him with a Formula Synchron, which is fairly significant. 1 Leonidas. Tried to play it once yesterday, and it got Solemn Warninged, but it's still a good card. 3 of each of the slimes. Fusion summoning was very significant. Also, Swirl Slime's effect was very important. Banishing him from the graveyard to special summon a DD from my hand was by far one of the best things throughout the course of the day. So that's the DD monsters. Moving on to the non-DD monsters, I played 2 Vanity's Fiend, 1 Glow-Up Bulb, and 1 Farfa. So the double Vanity's Fiend was one of the best techs of the day. Whenever I saw the card going first, I usually won the game. It was very rare that I didn't win that game. It's a really, really good stun card, especially seeing this deck doesn't normal summon very much at all. It's just so useful. Glow Up Bulb helps you make your Formula Synchron and your Omega, which is of course really good. And then the Farfa is there to dump off of Beatrice. If you do draw into it, which I didn't draw into it too often, you can just pitch it off of your Dante, or you can your Pilgrim if your Beatrice is destroyed, that is, or you can use it as an allure target. If you really need to, considering this deck doesn't normal summon that much too, you can fusion summon, and then you can normal summon the Farfa, then he's automatically destroyed, and then you can banish one of your opponent's cards for the turn, one of their monsters, which is something else that I did as well. So the Farfa wasn't that bad, even when I drew into it. So 3 of the Search Contract and 2 of the Fusion Contract. This was a perfect ratio for these spells. I know some people will play 3 of this. 2 was perfect. I never banished both copies of this off of my desires. There's one game that I banished, that or it was in testing, that I banished all 3 of these. I think it was in testing after last night when I won. Not when I won, but after I got home from the regional, I drew some hands, and I drew really bad, and I had to double desires in my first 2 turns. But that didn't happen in the tournament, luckily. Then the draw power. We played a lot of draw power. This deck was really good because of it. So the triple allure, the triple trade-in, and the double desire. This was so amazing. This deck has crazy access to getting all the cards that they need just because you have all of these cards to draw with. I did not feel that the third desire was necessary. You only want to resolve this card once, and I did see it very often, even just playing 2 copies. I only played 41 cards in the main deck, so it was very, very consistent. And then the last spell, One Foolish Burial, because almost everything in this deck is really good in the graveyard. Onto the traps. 3 Solemn Warning, 1 of the Dark Contract with the Witch, and 1 Vanity's Emptiness. So the Dark Contract with the Witch, this card won me a game against the Ties of the Brethren Magispector. The guy normaled the Bunbuku, and he searched for a high scale, and he only had 2 cards in hand along with his low scale activated, so I figured he needed the high scale to Pendulum Summon, and he had no monsters on board. He activated the high scale, and upon the activation of the high scale, I activated the Witch trap, and I popped his high scale, and he had nothing to do, and he scooped, which got me a guarantee top 32 for sure. And then the final round, I did end up losing to ABC, but I still ended up getting my top 8, which was really cool. So that's the main deck. We'll go right on to the extra deck here. So I played 3 Genghis. This card's broken. Best fusion card in the extra deck currently. Double the Arc. This card is really, really good. It helps you go into rank 7s too if you need to, but you very rarely go into rank 7s with this deck, so it doesn't even matter. One of this guy, I'm not even going to read his name because it's so long, and I hated having to write it down on my deck list in the first place. But I went into him once, and it was definitely a good game after I summoned him. Then the last fusion we played, the 1 Pilgrim. Onto the Xyz for the rank 6s, I played a Utopia Beyond, a Beatrice, and a Dragulus. These cards were amazing. I summoned these 2 Xyz monsters more than any other Xyz monster in the extra deck. I played out Dragulus once, and it was against the Magispector player, and once it came out, he was like, yeah, you got me for sure. So he just ended up scooping. So, really, really good. I love the rank 6 engine in this deck. It's amazing. Rank 7, I just play the 1 Big Eye. I didn't go into it once, but it's still a good card to have. Rank 8s, 1 Kali Yuga and 1 Titanic. Went into these cards a lot too. Both of them won me several games. Just completely broken cards. Onto the Synchros, 1 Formula Synchron and 1 Psyframe Omega to round off the extra deck. Moving on to the side deck. Played triple Gamseal. My whole side deck was intended to go second because I figured that's what was going to happen most of the day, was that if I lost, or if I won the dice roll and I won the first game, that during the second and third game I would probably end up going second for the most part, and I wanted to make the side appropriate for that. So the triple Gamseal. The double Maxi, which was okay, but I sided it in once and I didn't even see it. 1 Side Blocker. This was the 15th card in the extra deck. Sided it in once and it got banished by a Farfa. Didn't do much for me in all honesty. I would switch it for something else. Triple Twin Twister. Got to get rid of back row. It's kind of required. Triple System Down. I sided this card against ABC, and every time I sided it against ABC, I did not see it. But I beat 2 out of the 3 matchups that I had against ABC, so it's still a very good card. I just didn't see it. Then Double Book of Eclipse. I never really had a need to side this card in. I could have sided it in a couple times, but there was like no reason for me to. It was just I didn't want to side out that many cards and side in that many cards. It just would have like made the deck cloggy and not work as much. And then the last card was the Raigeki to round off the side deck. So that is my DD 8th place deck profile from the Danbury, Connecticut Regionals. There was about 200 people there. I played against, oh man, it's going to be hard remembering all of my matchups. I think I have it on my phone. and I can just pull up the list of what I played against here. So let me just look at this. Okay, so I played Burning Abyss Infernoid in round 1, which I lost to. Round 2, I know I played against Destiny Hero, and I beat that. I don't remember like the rest of the order of the matchups, but then I played against Herald. I played against Magispector with the Ties of Brethren. I played against the Metalfoe ABC, and then I played against 2 regular ABC, and then I played against a Mermail deck. And it was pretty good. It wasn't a bad day at all. I very rarely bricked with the deck, which was amazingly perfect. But that's it for this deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoy. I do think this is the best rogue, if not tier 1.5 deck currently in the game. I would definitely put it in a top 10 list for sure, especially considering how it ran yesterday and the fact that no one knows what this deck does. Makes everything so much better. The fact that no one knows how this deck operates or anything. But hope you guys enjoyed this. This is Team Yugi Fails signing out. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks, guys.